Elite Facts presents
50 Random Facts You May Not Have Known, number 2.
50.
Cookie Monster's real name is Sid.
49.
The average hummingbird's heart rate is more than 1,200 beats per minute.
48.
While working on Pac-Man, video game designer Tohru Iwatani was allegedly inspired by the shape of a pizza with one slice removed.
47.
A large percentage of the budget for Monty Python and the Holy Grail was donated by members of Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd.
46.
If the human brain were a computer, it would perform 38,000 trillion operations per second. The world's most powerful supercomputer, Blue Gene, can manage only 0.002% of that.
45.
There's a basketball court above the Supreme Court. It's known as the highest court in the land.
44.
The total weight of all the ants on Earth is greater than the total weight of all the humans on the planet.
43.
Humans shed 40 pounds of skin in their lifetime, completely replacing their outer skin every month.
42.
When he died in 1977, Elvis Presley had $1,055,173.69 in a non-interest-bearing checking account.
41.
Frederick Bauer invented the Pringles can. When he passed away in 2008, his ashes were buried in one.
40.
The Liberace Museum has a mirror-plated Rolls-Royce, jewel-encrusted capes, and the largest rhinestone in the world, weighing 59 pounds and almost a foot in diameter.
39.
The earliest recorded case of a man giving up smoking was on April 5, 1679, when Johan Katsu, sheriff of Turku, Finland, wrote in his diary, quote, "I quit smoking tobacco." He died 1 month later.
38.
The roar that we hear when we place a seashell next to our ear is not the ocean, but rather the sound of blood surging through the veins in the ear. Any cup-shaped object placed over the ear produces the same effect.
37.
Mario of Super Mario Bros. Fame appeared in the 1981 arcade game Donkey Kong. His original name was Jumpman, but it was changed to Mario to honor the Nintendo of America's landlord, Mario Segale.
36.
It's believed that Shakespeare was 46 years old around the time that the King James Version of the Bible was written. In Psalms 46, the 46th word from the first word is shake, and the 46th word from the last word is spear.
35.
In 1728, the philosopher Voltaire got rich by outsmarting the lottery. The prize money was larger than the cost of all the tickets combined, so Voltaire and his friend formed a syndicate, bought all the tickets, and won several times.
34.
Between 1948 and 1998, 20,362 Israelis were killed in wars, and 20,852 were killed on the roads.
33.
Spraying your clothes with vodka can make them smell better, since vodka kills odor-causing bacteria on the spot.
32.
As a symbol of unity between their two countries, Philip II of France and Richard I of England once slept in the same bed.
31.
In 2004, researchers at King's College in London spent weeks examining dozens of horror movies before determining that Stanley Kubrick's The Shining was, quote, the perfect scary film.
30.
Frank Sinatra was the producer's first choice to play the role of Harry Callahan in Dirty Harry.
29.
Pablo Escobar's Medellin cartel spent $2,500 a month on rubber bands to hold all their cash.
28.
The Flintstones was sponsored by a cigarette company during the show's first 2 seasons. The show was intended for adults, not kids, so few complained about the commercials that depicted the Stone Age characters puffing away on Winstons.
27.
Only sparkling white wine that comes from the Champagne region of France in the northeastern part of the country can be called champagne. And that's not a suggestion. In Europe, it's the law. In fact, France's ownership of the word was actually reaffirmed in 1919's Treaty of Versailles. But here's the loophole. Because the United States never ratified the Treaty of Versailles, it became perfectly legal to call American sparkling wine champagne.
26,
The wick of a trick candle has small amounts of magnesium in it. When you light the candle, you're also lighting the magnesium. When someone tries to blow out the flame, the magnesium inside the wick continues to burn and, in just a split second or 2 or 3, relights the wick.
25,
The final resting place for Dr. Eugene Shoemaker? The Moon. The famed United States Geological Survey astronomer taught the Apollo astronauts about craters, but never made it into space. Mr. Shoemaker wanted to be an astronaut but was rejected because of a medical problem. His ashes were placed on board the Lunar Prospector spacecraft before it was launched on January 6, 1998. NASA crashed the probe into a crater on the Moon in an attempt to learn if there's water on the Moon.
24,
In 1955, the richest woman in the world was Ms. Hetty Green Wilkes, who left an estate of $95 million in a will that was found in a tin box with 4 pieces of soap. Queen Elizabeth of Britain and Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands are counted among the 10 wealthiest women in the world.
23,
The first full moon to occur on the winter solstice, December 22nd, commonly called the first day of winter, happened in 1999. Since a full moon on the winter solstice occurred in conjunction with a lunar perigee, the point in the moon's orbit that is closest to Earth, the moon appeared about 14% larger than it does at apogee, the point in its elliptical orbit that it's farthest from the Earth.
22,
Many sharks lay eggs, but hammerheads give birth to live babies that look like very small duplicates of their parents. Young hammerheads are usually born head first, with the tip of their hammer-shaped head folded backward to make them more streamlined for birth.
21,
Catnip, or Nepeta cataria, is an herb with nepetalactone in it. Many think that when cats inhale nepetalactone, it affects hormones that arouse sexual feelings, or at least alter their brain functioning to make them feel high. Catnip was originally made using nepetalactone as a natural bug repellent, but roaming cats would rip up the plants before they could be put to their intended use.
20,
Coca-Cola would be green if coloring wasn't added to it.
19,
The average lead pencil can draw a line 35 miles long or write approximately 50,000 English words.
18,
The male praying mantis cannot copulate while its head is attached to its body. The female initiates sex by ripping the male's head off.
17,
Jellyfish like salt water. A rainy season often reduces the jellyfish population by putting more fresh water into normally salty waters where they live.
16,
The original IBM PCs that had hard drives referred to the hard drives as Winchester drives. This is due to the fact that the original Winchester drive had a model number of 3030. This is, of course, the same as a Winchester firearm.
15,
The Grammy Awards were introduced to counter the threat of rock music. In the late 1950s, a group of record executives were alarmed by the explosive success of rock and roll, considering it a threat to quality music.
14,
Abraham Lincoln is Tom Hanks' third cousin, 4 generations removed.
13,
Nicolas Cage was once stalked by a mime. He said, quote, "I was being stalked by a mime, silent but maybe deadly."
12,
Christopher Walken was part of the circus when he was 15 as a lion tamer.
11,
Matthew Perry is missing part of his middle finger due to a door-shutting accident.
10,
Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was also the voice of Shredder in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
9,
The yo-yo originated as a weapon in the Philippine Islands during the 16th century.
8,
Gasoline was once sold in small bottles as a cure for lice.
7,
Historians believe that cigars have been a fixture in the Caribbean since the year 900. Proof comes from an ancient Guatemalan jug that shows a Mayan kicking back with a stogie.
6,
The Large Hadron Collider, a 17-mile ring buried underground in Switzerland, can recreate both deep space and subatomic activity right here on Earth for scientists to examine.
5,
Humans share 50% of their DNA with bananas.
4,
Having bridesmaids in a wedding wasn't originally for moral support. They were intended to confuse evil spirits or those who wished to harm the bride.
3,
When a male penguin falls in love with a female penguin, he searches the entire beach to find the perfect pebble to present to her.
2,
Leonardo da Vinci could write with one hand and draw with the other at the same time.
1.
The show Scrubs was declared to be one of the most medically accurate shows on television. Not bad for a comedy, huh?
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.